Well, it's a few days later and you see I've got a brand new tank here. This should pretty much be an exact one-for-one replacement. It's another 50-gallon tank, power vented top. All of the fittings and everything seem like they're going to be in the exact same location. So we can go ahead, get that old tank drained, get this new guy in there. So before we drain the tank, obviously we need to shut off the cold water coming in. Just turn this all the way in to stop it. So I don't really have any floor drains in this room or really anywhere nearby. So in order to get the water out the bottom of the tank here, I'm actually going to take off the clean out right here and just run my hose into here because I don't want to have to empty 500 buckets. This will be our simplest way. So we're going to try this. And we'll go open the hot water on the other side of the wall here. Well, while this drains, the next thing we can work on is removing the gas line. Again, I've got it shut off up there, and now I'm just going to remove this little coupler right here, and then we'll be able to unthread this whole assembly. All this stuff coming out here, that's exactly why you want this little trap pipe here to catch all that. So we're going to reuse this, but this piece has a reducer and we don't need this smaller size. It's actually the bigger size right here on the new tank. So I'll just go ahead and get that removed off camera and we'll apply the new Teflon tape. Now remember, you want to use the yellow Teflon tape for gas. So again, the tank is still draining. Let's use some of that time to sweat on these new fittings, which are going to connect to the dip tubes on the tank. So we just need to clean up the ends, put some flux on, heat them up, get the solder in there, and then these will be ready for when we go downstairs. Because again, on this end, we have the two shark bite fittings. So these will just get cut to length and then quick connected to those shark bite fittings, and then we'll be all done. So start with a little sandpaper to clean it up. Same thing on the inside. Flux on the inside. A little flux on the outside. Our fittings together. Get our heat going. I'll let those cool down and that's it. Let's get this new guy in here. Shimmy it like this. Well, fuck. Just kidding, guys. I knew it wasn't going to fit. It's unfortunate. It is the same size tank, but apparently they got wider. I don't know if there's more insulation in these or what. But the good news is this door jamb is pretty easy to take off. I can see all the screws I put in, which is way too many. So I'll just take the screws out, take the door and the jamb off. We'll slide this guy in. So I've got the hot water out pipe disconnected and taken off. We've also loosened the shark bite fitting right here for the cold water in. And the last thing to do is to cut off this vent pipe, which is permanently glued in place. The new one will have a hose clamp, so we don't have to worry about gluing anything. And this just goes up about 2 feet and 5 feet over that way outside of the house. So we're just going to cut it right here and we'll adjust it when we get the new tank in and cut off as much as we need to. We're free! I'll just put this piece of insulation prop between the pipe up here to support it. There we go. Once this tank is fully drained, we'll get it out of here. So now it's time to install these little stub posts with the adapter on the end, and this just threads on. So first I'll get some Teflon tape, which is a little bit tricky because there's not really any room to get it on there. And yeah, I'll show you what I do. Next thing I'm going to do is shorten this pipe to sit just inside there. So we'll cut it right about there just to get that done and out of the way. Okay, so our exhaust is cut to length. We need to get these aligned, this aligned, and our gas line will kind of be aligned, but it'll kind of be bent into place when we get there. But yeah, let's start shoving this back. Trim this guy, and this guy. We'll pop our shark bites on, and we're connected to water. And we're back here. We've got the water, the vent hooked up. We can plug in the thing to the electrical whenever we want. This is set to off and its lowest setting. We're going to take out this blue cap here. I've got my Teflon tape for natural gas. This is the yellow stuff. And we're just going to thread it in here. Okay, so we can get this guy connected. We're just going to have to bend it a little bit, probably up top, to get rid of some of the slack. We're good. Okay, the gas is hooked up. Now it's time to test my gas connection. I'm going to get some soapy water all over my connections, and then I'll turn the ball valve and we'll see if there's any leaks. The gas is hooked up. We don't have any leaks, can't smell anything. We checked with the bubbles. Both the output and the input, so the cold and hot, and the vent are hooked up. I don't have the electrical hooked up yet because right now I want to start filling the tank, so I'm going to open up our cold water. Now I also have to turn on the water to the rest of the house right now. The tank is full of water. I haven't seen any leaks anywhere up top or down below. Everything is bone dry for the last hour. So we're going to go ahead and get this guy set up and start making hot water. Now, they always come with these directions here. It says operating instructions. This just tells you make sure that you've let it sit for 5 minutes. If you were turning it off beforehand and let the gas clear out of the system, obviously there's been no gas on this ever because it's a brand new unit. So we just ignore that. So we go to the first step, which is turn on all the electric power to the appliance. So I'm going to go up here and just plug it in. Next step, set the switch on the control to the on position. Turn the thermostat to desired setting. If the appliance will not operate, follow the instructions. Sounds like it's working to me. Now this is a hot surface ignition. There is no pilot light, which I'm a big fan of. If you have a pilot light unit or some other unit, obviously your instructions will vary, but that's it. This is our new tank. Sounds like it's working. And I just heard the fire come on right there. I heard a few clicks and I heard the flame go. Good to go. See you on the next one.